Over the last 6 months, my relationship with alcohol has significantly improved. I think only once this year have I actually touched alcohol and been out drinking properly, and then I just felt absolutely disgusted with myself. That I really questioned things like, why am I even doing this? It's not even real. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you my reasoning as to why I've decided to completely quit drinking alcohol at the age of 22 and why you should probably do the same. I know a lot of people who are around my age are constantly out drinking, partying, and people say, oh, just enjoy your youth, come out, drink, and it's all good, it's all fun, it doesn't matter, it's all in moderation. You've got to have fun, remember that. But number one of the biggest reasons why I stopped is because it's not even real fun anyway. When you actually think about it, and if you've ever been out completely sober like I have done myself once, and I never would again, because you realise it's not fun, it's not real. You don't have fun when you're not drinking, and it's only because of the stimulation of alcohol that makes it somewhat fun, I guess. But even then, I've got to a stage now where it doesn't even feel fun because I've done it so many times, and the amount of stimulation it takes for me to have a good time now is just ridiculously high. And a lot of people don't really think like this, that they're probably not, you've probably not been out just sober yourself, and it's kind of difficult to kind of like have this mindset if you've not done it before, where you're just like, shit, like I'm just drinking to numb the pain of how bad the night out is. That's the whole reason I'm doing it. And if you actually like thought about that, you're paying money to numb the pain of something that is not even good anyway, then you might come to this realization, like, yeah, this is not fun. Like real fun, it's not real fun. Real fun might be socializing, you're spending time with friends, you're spending time with family, you're out in nature, you're working out, you're working towards your goals. That is real fun. You're doing sports, something like that. It's not getting blackout drunk with some people you don't even like and spending a load of money. That's not fun at all, is it? Everyone knows this, but people do it over and over again. And number two is the cost. Although I've never been a big spender when it has come to like nights out and stuff, because I just knew it's just such a scam. But I know a lot of people personally, people who I used to be friends with, would spend possibly £100 plus on a night out, which is just absolutely crazy in the UK. And this is even without like pre-drinks and maybe other substances that people take on nights out too. And I think I worked out like an average person in the UK would spend over £500 on alcohol every single year. And obviously, yes, over the grand scheme, £500 a year is not crazy or anything like that, but it adds up. And I always see, if it's not adding to the personal development of myself, then why am I spending money on something that's going to take me further away, and something that, like I say, I don't actually enjoy anyway? And moving quite swiftly on to number three, which quite well correlates to this, is I actually do enjoy my life in the real life, which is a concept that I put to a few of my friends. I was like, well, the high I get from drinking nowadays is not even the same as I get from working, pursuing my goals, like earning money, doing the things that I actually enjoy. Feels 100 times as better as it does to drink alcohol and being out in a social situation like that. And it doesn't even feel good anymore. And I think you really have to question yourself. If you are someone who does go out regularly, you're going out every single weekend, you got to question as to, why am I doing this? Because chances are you're not very happy in your real life. That's why you have to escape to an external reality and be under stimulation from alcohol and drugs. This is why you do it at the end of the day. A lot of people won't have the humility to admit this because it's not very nice, and it dents a lot of people's ego, but it might actually dent yours too. That's why you keep doing it over and over again. But once you discover something purposeful, meaningful, you discover that purpose in your life, you'll be like, why the fuck am I doing this? This this isn't even good. Like, I actually like working. I like my work. I like what I'm doing. I like where my life's going. I'm really excited by how my life's going in the future and all of this. Then you're like, well, I'm not going to drink because it's not even good anyway, and it's going to take me further and further away from where I want to be in the end game. Moving on to number 4, I want to talk about fake people and fake me as well. I did not like how alcohol makes me feel at all and act towards people. I don't like to be someone who's fake and giving off the wrong impressions and doing things that I will later regret and just saying stuff that I don't actually mean, because I see this in so many people, especially when it's understandable because we've all been there. And when I was 18, 19, I was making a lot of similar mistakes where I'd say stuff which I didn't actually mean. I might do some things that I'm not very impressed with. I let myself down. I feel embarrassed the next day, and I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy, because you see so many people. You've probably seen it. You've been on like a night out, and then there's some guy who's like come and chatted to you, and he'll be like, oh yeah, like, oh, I saw you about, like, we should definitely like hang out some more, and like we could be friends and all of this, and like, oh, you're such a nice guy, like, just message me and all of this. And then you see them the next day, walk past, and they can't even give you eye contact. Like, this is so common. It's probably more common. You might have even realised this yourself. You might have had an example, because I definitely have. And I don't want to be that guy who does that, and I don't want people around me who are like that, because it's fake. There's a lot of fakeness in this world, and I don't have time for that. And a lot of people are like this every single time. They'll have their arm around you, be like, oh yeah, you're such a good lad, you know. You'd be like, all of this, and I just don't like it. I think fakeness is, yeah, that's when it really brings out, alcohol brings out fake in a lot of people, and I don't want to be making mistakes. I don't want to be someone who I'm not to other people out there. And I'm going to move on to number 5, which, again, these kind of all link together somewhat, is that I found purpose in life. I found something that is actually a lot more meaningful to me than just everyday kind of normal life, like going out and all this just bullshit in life that I don't even enjoy anyway. I have big goals that I want to work towards, and I know that drinking and being out partying, being out late, and in that scene surrounded by people who aren't, let's be honest, who are not going to the same places that I want to go to, is only going to hold me back. And whenever I've been out over the last year, I've always thought, like, oh, why the fuck am I doing this? I've got so much I want to achieve in my life. I have so many big goals, and all I'm doing is pushing myself further away from this. And it just happened again and again and again, and it's difficult to kind of get out of, because you're like, oh, I want to enjoy myself, and all your friends are going out, so it's obviously very difficult. But once you kind of have something, holding yourself accountable, I guess, is very important to making sure you probably don't go out as much. Because say if you have something on the next day, maybe you're like, you've told your friend, okay, we're going to hit the gym the next day. You can't let that person down, so you've got to make sure you don't stay out too late, you don't drink, else you'll end up letting your friend down. And I think that's maybe a good coping mechanism, I guess you could say. But like, yeah, I've really realised, it's at the end of the day, if you have big goals, things you want to achieve, then you can't be going out at this age. It's too important. You're going to fuck yourself over. And I know this from first-hand experience. The next day, you don't get anything done productive. You're not hitting the gym. You're not working on your goals. You're not working towards your business. You're not going to get anywhere near to where you want to be. And that should really scare you, because at the end of the day, the only person that's going to get you towards your goals is yourself, and you're just going to be further and further away, and these goals are just going to they will just be goals. They're not going to get any further than that. And number 6 is kind of the environment, the degenerate partying environment that you probably have witnessed if you're from the UK, like myself. And this is another big reason why I decided just to stop drinking. I was surrounded by people who are degenerate people, let's be honest here, and they're not going to they don't want to be where I want to be, and they're probably okay with drinking, partying, sleeping around, all of this bullshit that's a waste of time and not going to get you to anywhere you want to be in life. And that's fine for them. If they want to do that, they can do that, and they'll be okay with that. But at the end of the day, I'm not, and I'm going to end up resenting myself. I'm going to end up resenting them. So I have to be away from those types of people, and you need to be out of that scene, because at the end of the day, if you're surrounded by degenerate friends, we always hear that same quote, you're a sum of the 5 closest surroundings, and if you're in that type of environment, they're going to end up dragging you down, whether you want to admit it or not, because it always happens. I've seen it with people who try and not be in that environment. They don't want to get in the party scene, but their friends haven't changed. It always happens. They always end up getting back into it. So believe me, you don't want to be surrounded by these types of people. And there's a lot of people out there who just want to just fuck around. Most people do at the end of the day. A lot of people aren't on self-improvement and actually want to pursue something meaningful in their life. So they're my main, I guess, 6 reasons why I've completely just decided to cut off alcohol, and I think you should definitely do the same. I'm hoping you have a lot of ambitious goals like myself, and in order to achieve this, we have to cut shit and bullshit out, like just drinking alcohol for no reason. If you have done really well in your business and you've got a load of money and you want to celebrate, by all means do that, yes, but I think the benefits, as I've made evidently clear in this video, completely outweigh any positives you do get from drinking, which I can't really think of any. Like, I was going to say, like, oh, maybe I'll just drink 1 or 2 when I go out, but then I'm like, what's the point? I don't need to do that. I used to drink so much just because I was so lacking in confidence, but I don't have that anymore. I'm confident when it comes to social situations. I don't need a stimulation such as alcohol, and I know it's only going to bring out a fake version of myself, and I don't want to portray that to the outside world. So yeah, I honestly don't know if I ever will touch it again. I don't really see myself doing that at all. So I would be interested to hear what your thoughts on my relationship with alcohol and your personal relationship with alcohol, if you have a positive one or not, and how important you truly believe it is in getting to where you want to be, because I think it's so important. And you see the people who sacrifice this can and should definitely go on to achieve massive things in life. So yeah, hope that's been a really informative video of why you should probably quit alcohol and why it's just holding you back from where you want to be. And if it offered you an abundance of information and guidance, I'd really appreciate if you liked and subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.